Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. MC-Mura here, and in today's video I wanted to talk to you guys about Karin and how you can fight her. Karin, of course, is one of the characters that have been strong in Street Fighter for a long while. This season she is kinda mid-high tier, but she is still a quite strong character, and she have one of the best neutral games in the game. Her poking and her punishing are all really strong. And of course her neutral tools are dominant, but I wanted to talk to you today about some of these tools and how you can play around them and play against them. One of the main tools that Karin players like to use is her charged V skill 1. The charged V skill 1 is a very annoying attack because, as you can see, the range is quite big. It's even a little bit hard to whiff punish, so even with someone like Cammy, as you can see, it is a little bit tricky. You can whiff punish it, but it is hard to do. It's quite hard to do actually, and even if you don't have a good backward walk, it's gonna be really difficult to whiff punish this attack. So my recommendation here is two things. The first one is a very hard read, and the very hard read would be neutral jumping it. You can actually neutral jump and land punish this, but this carries some risks obviously because Karin can do an EX Tenko to anti-air you from this distance, and her reward on landing that EX Tenko will be really big. So while neutral jumping is an option, I don't recommend using that one very often. There is another alternative that I like quite a bit, and that is using moves like Cammy standing heavy kick to catch this attack while it is moving forward. Attacks like Cammy standing heavy kick, Ryu standing heavy kick, Chun-Li's, the high only crush counter attacks, most of these are really good. Like Cammy have one of the worst ones, but as you can see it is still doing a number on this V skill. So this of course also carries some risks because she can whiff punish you for that, but you only use this if you have a read. This is still a read, but it's not as committal as the neutral jumping. You are not committing as hard. Of course, the second move that Karin players might use is the uncharged V skill, and the uncharged V skill is actually a lot easier to whiff punish. As you can see, this is actually a lot easier to whiff punish. The range isn't nearly as big, and even if she does it from up close, she is -5, so you can get a punish on her on block. So the uncharged is whiff punishable easier, and it is block punishable, unlike the charged V skill, which is safe. The third attack I wanted to talk about is her sweep, and this sweep is amazing. As you can see, many times Karin will do it, the range is really big. A lot of character will not be able to sweep her back, so like Cammy can't sweep her back, crouching heavy punch doesn't work, so it might seem hopeless, right? There are two ways that you can deal with this. The first is using fast forward moving attack, so something like Cammy's spiral arrow will actually punish this. Right? This might be a good punish, but not every character has that, and many characters will struggle to punish this attack. But there is a really good trick that you can do. One of the things about this sweep is that her hurt box extend quite a bit. So as you can see, I will be able to 3-frame her, even so it doesn't look like I should. Like, look at the distance, look at where I'm jabbing her from. I am jabbing her from really far, so I will be able to do a punish like that, crouching jab into spiral arrow. It doesn't make sense, it doesn't look like it makes sense, but Karin hurt box is extended for quite a bit. So most character can actually punish this sweep with a crouching jab. You have to do something that's really quick, because this is only for the first couple of frames. So something like my crouching medium will not work, but a jab will work, even from maximum range. As you can see, it will still punish her, and this will allow you to get really big punishes on Karin, like the one you're just seeing. So this is an important attack to learn how to punish. It is almost punishable from most ranges by most characters using this tech, so it's very important to learn that one. The other one I wanted to talk about, of course, is a standing medium kick. This is one of her main tools, of course, one of the main neutral tools, and this is her main poke, right? Of course, it have amazing range, the recovery is good, it is hard to whiff punish, so Karin players love using it, and this also sets up frame trap or whiff punishes for Karins. So for example, if I block this from, say, maximum range, I will try to standing medium kick of my own, and then she will whiff punish me with a standing medium punch. If you block this attack from maximum range or close to max range, do not take your turn by poking back. Do not take your turn by poking back because you are setting yourself to get whiff punished. This is something that Karin players do all the time. Her standing medium kick is like a spacing tool. She is basically measuring you up to whiff punish you. She is setting you up for thinking that okay, she's -4, now it's my turn, I'm gonna press my normal, and then you will get whiff punished. So take care of that. You should only take back your turn if it is done from a close range. So from something like here, yeah, take back your turn, it's all yours, it's fantastic, have fun. But from far ranges, do not poke back. The final thing I want to talk about is her command dash into Tenko. This of course is really annoying because this goes over high, so if I'm doing an attack like my standing heavy kick, it will just dash straight under. And it is safe on block, it is only -2, so even if she blocks, even if that gets blocked, she doesn't get punished, right? This, however, have some issues that you have to be aware of. The first is that when she's dashing, her hurt box is extended by quite a bit. So you will be able to hit her quite early on. As you can see, I can hit her from a far distance. So actually buffering in the neutral, something like crouching medium punch, something with not many, recovery frames, is not a bad idea at all. So buffering stuff like her Kami's crouching medium punch or Kami's crouching medium kick is really strong against this. The other thing is if you happen to block the Orochi itself is -2 and Karin is in throw range. So you can absolutely throw her after, which will set up a throw or a shimmy game. So she is basically putting herself in a 50-50 mix-up. Of course, she can do an EX reversal after that, but she is a character with 925 HP, and if she is willing to YOLO EX DPs, she doesn't have that much health to afford to take these many risks. And now let's talk for a little bit about Karin's pressure, because she does have a really strong pressure game and a really strong throw/shimmy game. The party starter for Karin as usual is her standing light kick. This normal is amazing. It leaves her in throw range as you can see, so she can tick after it, she can throw you after it. If I try to mash here, this will frame trap into her 5 frame, which is a crouching medium punch. So you will get frame trapped by this, and of course she will deal a ton of damage in the process. It can even frame trap into itself, so if you try to take right away, then you're gonna get frame trap. If I try to backdash or jump, I'm gonna get hit by the other standing light kick. Same thing, if I try to backdash or jump here, I'm gonna get that hit, jump away, and I'm gonna get hit. So you can't really try to attempt to do anything after the first standing light kick. After her first standing light kick, just block. Honestly, just block. If she throws you, take the throw. Because mid-screen, she doesn't get any OK after it. As you can see, there is a big separation and she doesn't get much here. So after one standing light kick, my highest recommendation would to be taking the throw and not committing to anything just yet. Now let's continue with the block string. Of course, if I try to mash here, I'm gonna get counter hit. If I try to mash after the crouching medium punch, I'm gonna get counter hit by the standing medium punch. So what are some of my options? The best option in my opinion is to backdash after the second hit. So if she's doing the string, especially the crouching medium punch, it's a really good idea to backdash after it, because she have to commit to a really hard read to catch you in this situation. Let's check out another string. She's doing 2 standing light kicks into crouching medium. Again, a backdash will be really good in this situation. Let's check out a third string that Karin players will do a lot. Many people, when they block a string like this, they will try to walk back. And what's end up happening is they get caught by the crouching medium kick, and then of course the Karin will hit confirm into Tenko, and you will lose a ton of health. What you want to do is either, if you're expecting that the current player is doing a lot of walk forward pressure, so for example here Karin is doing a lot of walking into normals, you want to interrupt, and you want to interrupt right away. I know it is risky. I know we said it's just risky, but sometimes you have to call her out on the offense, right? Do not walk back and then try to interrupt, because this is gonna happen. If you try to walk back while she is walking forward and delay your interruption, she is gonna hit you as a counter hit. As you can see, this happens to me when I try to delay my button. So in something like this, just challenge right away. What you can do also is backdash after the crouching medium punch, like I said, because it is hard for a normal to hit you grounded after the crouching medium punch. What's gonna happen is an air reset. If she hits you with a standing medium, crouching medium kick, you're gonna get a reset, and in a situation like this, you will get a ton of damage on Karin, which is really good. Backdashing during her block string is actually really good, because if you manage to get a reset on the, if you manage to get an air reset and she committed to hit confirm it into the Tenko, she's gonna wave and you are gonna punish her massively. So backdashing against Karin is actually really strong. Let's check out another sequence like that one. Again, it's the same thing. If I try to backdash here after the second hit, as you can see, you will most likely be able to backdash unscathed. So Karin's pressure is really strong. It's really strong, but my recommendation would either, if you are expecting a lot of walk up pressure, I would highly recommend challenging. Don't try to walk back a lot, because her crouching medium is amazing, crouching medium kick, but a lot of back dashes could be really good, especially if there is some separation. So if she's doing it during a block string, especially it's gonna be really good after the second hit, and especially even more if it is a crouching medium punch. She's gonna have to commit to a hard read to catch you with that. And now I wanted to talk for a bit about Karin's Ressenha. Ressenha is her lunging overhead special attack. This attack is again pretty obnoxious to deal with, in all honesty. This is a 2-hitting overhead, so you can't block the first one and then crouch. You're gonna get hit, just like I'm showing you right now. So you have to block the 2 hits standing. And then she have multiple follow-ups. She can do a slide, she can do a command grab that hits standing opponent only, or she can just not do anything. And many players will have difficulties punishing this, but I'm gonna tell you the key to punishing this attack, because this is especially good on the lower levels of play. All you have to do is block the 2 hits of the overhead and then mash crouching jab. So if she does this, you will beat her out of the slide. As you can see, I'm counter hitting her out of the slide. I am hitting her in the startup of the slide. And even if she does the lunging overhead, she will jump over me, and then I will be able to get a grounded full combo punish on her. So when she does it, always block the first 2 hits and then mash crouching jab, right? Now let's talk about her V-trigger, because there is some stuff to talk about here. Karin's V-trigger gives her a new set of moves. It is kinda like a Rekka style attack, and there are multiple follow-ups here. This is one of them, and this is one of the most used ones. After the initial quarter circle forward, Karin can do down plus punch, and she will do this elbow attack, and this is plus on block, and it leaves her in throw range. So as you can see, she can do this and then throw me after. However, after the initial hits, if you do your 3 frame, or if you mash in general, you will be able to hit her out of this. So this is not a true block string. You can absolutely, mash a 3 or a 4 frame here, and you will be able to stop Karin. Also, you can parry. If your character have a parry or armor, someone like Akuma, you can armor here and punish this attack. So the elbow, the blossom block board have a gap in it that you can interrupt. Now let's talk about the mix-up, because this is where the mix-up is at. The mix-up is if she continues the string and she does this balm looking attack. If I try to mash here, she will counter hit me out of it every single time. As you can see, I'm trying to mash 3 frame with Akuma, but I'm getting hit counter hit. So this is the 50-50. You either stand block and she will do the elbow and B+, or she will commit to the whole thing. And of course, if she does the balm attack, if she commits If she have a read on you that you are gonna mash, this is heavily punishable on block. As you can see, this is -9, so you can absolutely punish this heavily into big damage. The block stun is a little bit weird, but you will be able to punish this into big damage when you block this. Also, something important to note is that the Balm attack, this one, while it will beat 3 frame, it will lose to invincibility. So if I try to do my EXDB here, I should be able to EXDB her out of it. And this is also applies to the other one. Even if she does the elbow one, which have which is plus on block, which has a gap. Here I should also be able to DB her out of this. So both of these will lose to invincibility, right? So either she does the elbow and is plus on block, but you can challenge, or she will read that you can challenge, end with a balm, but that is unsafe if you have a read on it. This is a 50-50, right? But again, invincibility will beat both. So a Karin player might do another option, and that is to do the backstep, and this is a safe option. When she does this, she is -2. This is completely safe, and you kinda have reset the neutral, so it's not too bad. This used to be punishable early on in the game's life cycle, but Capcom buffed it and made it so that it is safe. So now this is completely safe. Now, another option, and that is the last important one, is she can cancel this into an overhead, and this overhead is safe on block. The Ressenha out of the V-Trigger command dash is safe on block, it is only -2, but she is in throw range, so it's obviously much better to stand block here. Once you are blocking the initial hits of her V-Trigger Rekka, stand block, because this overhead could catch you. And if she catch you with this overhead, she will be able to combo after. So for the overhead, she is safe, but she is in throw range, so then you can throw her after. Her V-Trigger is really simple, it's not an amazing V-Trigger, and the 50-50 mix-up, she's only +1 after the elbow, and it does require her to make a really hard read on your defensive habits, pretty much. And now let us talk for a little bit about Karin's Orochi pressure and her V-Trigger too, right? And let us start with her Orochi pressure. Orochi is her shoulder attack that she can do out of her command dash. So now Karin is doing standing heavy punch into this shoulder, and this is what we call the Orochi. Orochi is -2 on block, but it leaves Karin in throw range. So if you happen to block this, you can try to throw her, or you can play the shimmy game, and you know how it goes in the -2/+2 situation. Of course, she can DB and all of that. Her other attack out of this command dash is the Tenko, which is the launcher attack, and this of course is massively unsafe. So what we are gonna focus on, and what is gonna be mostly used for pressure, is the Orochi. The idea here is that this can be dangerous if it's done from standing heavy punch, because if I try to interrupt here, we will trade, and when we trade, Karin actually can combo out of this trade, so it is a risky interruption. I wouldn't recommend interrupting her standing heavy punch into Orochi. What you can do if you want to challenge is to DB. So an EXDB here is not a terrible idea, because even if she does a command dash, she can't block it in time. But I wouldn't recommend against challenging at all, because if you challenge, you're gonna either get hit counter hit, or you're gonna trade, and you're gonna lose a lot either way. The other one she can do is out of crouching medium kick, and crouching medium kick to Orochi is not a true block string. You can interrupt this one every single time, and when you hit her with a 3 frame, it will hit as a counter hit. When Karin is hit out of her command dash, she will be in a counter hit state, right? So you will get a counter hit combo, and you might get something like this, dealing really good damage and setting up a really good situation. If you wanna eyeball this easily, I would say notice the wind effect. As soon as Karin starts her command dash, there is a little bit of wind effect that goes around the character. So as soon as you see some wind, try to match your 3 frame. And of course, with some practice, you can hit confirm this and with some practice on this punish, you can, visualize that this is the command dash and go for the counter hit. Even if you don't, punishing with something like this is good enough. So out of the crushing medium kick, always try to interrupt her Orochi pressure, because many Karens will try to cheese you with that. It is an effective strategy, so you have to be careful out of this. But with some practice, you can absolutely deal with this. Now, let's talk for a little bit then about the V-Trigger 2. Because V-Trigger 2 is a very gimmicky and quite obnoxious and annoying V-Trigger, if I am being completely honest. V-Trigger 2 gives Karin It's a parry. So what she can do is she will do an unsafe special move. She can cancel into the parry out of any of her special move, and then, cancel the recovery of the special to the parry and punish you for trying to punish her, pretty much. So she is doubling down on the unsafety of the special and, expecting that you will try to punish her. This is annoying because this parry will block everything, so if I try to go for a mid, it will parry it. If I try to go for a low, it will also parry it. So it doesn't even have a high-low out of the unsafe special. What you can do here is you can throw her out of this. So you can absolutely punish it with a grab if you can, or you can wait it out and, punish her, crush counter punish her, because she will be in a crush counter state if you happen to, punish this on recovery. So this might catch you off guard, but it's something that you really have to keep an attention on. You have to keep your eye on that one. And this also applies to her annoying overhead attack. Remember when we said that Ressenha is an obnoxious, annoying attack? Yeah, because of this. If you try the strategy we talked about earlier, you will actually get punished for it. So what you can do then is maybe try to throw her, right? But this will beat you. So this is a little bit of an annoying 50-50 if Karin wants to go there, but she can't get punished either way, because if she goes for the parry, you can absolutely block it and then, hit her out of it and heavily punish Karin. Or if she went for the overhead and you were just not doing anything, just down backing after blocking it, again you get a punish. So regardless, you get a punish on Karin if you just stay patient and she doubled down on either of the options, which leaves her, just road doing the Ressenha kinda safe. But it is what it is, It's a V-Trigger, of course, it is supposed to buff the character quite a bit, and it makes Ressenha an even riskier attack to try to play around with. And that is mostly it for today's video. I really have a lot more that I want to say on Karin, but I don't want this video to go for too long, because I think it has already been long enough. I will be revisiting this character because there is still a lot to talk about in regards to Karin and the matchup. Anyways, if you enjoy this video, please leave a like or a comment. It helps the channel so much. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Thank you very much for watching and stay safe.